Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a Q&A video for The Walking Dead leading up to Season 7. In this one, we're going to start with talking about the Here's Negan sort of flashback issues as part of the previews from Image Plus, getting to see Negan's backstory in his life before the zombie apocalypse. Going to give my updated thoughts since there's been 2 chapters released at this point. And spoiler warning, if you guys want to read the Image Plus previews yourself, the Negan Image Plus Here's Negan series yourself without hearing my thoughts on it. So a few people have asked me to give my updated thoughts on it. Now there's been 2 chapters of it. They're rather small, and I want to thank Kevin from the Netherlands for sharing this with me so I was able to see them. Want to buy them, but they're not that easy to get hold of. You can't really buy them online from what I saw. You have to go to a comic shop. You have to get the image previews for that month. Some shops don't even have them. I was asking in my shop. They didn't even have it. So I was like, oh, darn it, that sucks. So it may be a little bit difficult to track down. You can try to find them online, that kind of deal, and do what you can. But I'm going to go over what they include in this one video and kind of give my thoughts on each. So the first one was released over a month ago, and then the second one was released last month. So the third one should be coming up pretty soon, I believe. And also, of course, there's an issue of The Walking Dead this week coming out, which should be awesome too. And I'll do the review as usual for this week's issue. So they're pretty small. Each one is only 5 pages, with the first page being like a Image Plus Presents type deal. So it's really 4 pages is all there is to it per kind of issue per month. So if there's 4 pages per month, and maybe they're doing it, I believe they said a year or so. I think 12 of them. So that'll be like a couple issues of The Walking Dead. Like one issue is about, usually I think it's about 19, 20, 21, 20 pages depending. Sometimes they'll do a little bit longer. Sometimes you'll get specials and stuff like that. But for the most part, that's what it is. So Here's Negan will translate after a year, most likely. I believe anyway. Don't quote me on this. This is just my understanding going from memory because I did a video on this already when they kind of announced it. So each one is 4 pages. They're pretty cool. In total, it should be about 2 issues of the comic book for the Here's Negan and kind of his backstory. So the beginning of it, you get to see Negan, and he's wrapping Lucille, and I showed pictures of this. These were released in the preview by fire, and it's a pretty cool sequence. He's got his eyes closed, and he's kind of remembering his life before, so a flashback. So what it is in the first issue, or release, I guess, for 4 pages, is he's playing ping pong against some of his students, it seems, from school, because he's a high school gym teacher, it looks like, which is cool, because at first it was being reported online that he was like a ping pong coach, this kind of deal. I get the sense after the second release, the second chapter, that it's more like he's a high school gym teacher, and ping pong is one thing he likes, this kind of deal. So he's playing ping pong against them. He's one of those kind of cool teachers, cool gym teachers. I had a few of those that were really cool, and see him after when I was in college and stuff, and they still say hi and how you doing, Trev, this kind of thing. I had a couple of pretty cool gym teachers. He's one of the cool ones. There's some that are not so cool too. There's some that are like drill sergeants, right? Negan for sure would be one of the cool ones. So he's playing ping pong against one of them, and he beats him, and he swears at him a bit. Negan calls him an F-wit. And the kid runs off crying, and then the other kids say, sorry, Josh has always been a bit of a P word, pussy. That's what it is. Negan swears a couple more times, fuck, fuck, fuck. His wife comes home and starts yelling at him, saying you're going to get yourself in trouble at school, you're going to get fired, kids crying, parents find out, they can't be hearing that you're saying the F word, swearing at kids and stuff. And then Negan's response, I only swear to one of them. Awesome. It's pretty cool. But then it's pretty fast paced, even though it's only a few pages, like 4 pages each. She passes out. So his wife passes out, and he's really shocked and everything. Call 911. They go to the hospital, and they find out that she has cancer. And we find out as you see some flashes of him. He's hitting the heavy bag. He's got the boys. He's in school and he's coaching. And then he's got his wife and he's kind of carrying her home. And he's not feeling good. And then it shows a sequence with him with some other woman we don't know too much about. Maybe, I don't know, if he's having an affair, this kind of thing. And then he says, "My wife has cancer," because. And he's just dealing with, kind of that sadness. So it's kind of crazy that he's cheating on her while she has cancer. I mean, well, he is a villain, so it's what it is, right? But but I guess that would also fit in line with what we see from Negan later on in the zombie apocalypse, where he has all these different wives and stuff and everything. So, but so. Oh man, so it's kind of like the beginning of how Negan was formed, how Negan developed, and I've enjoyed at least these 2 small chapters. It's really cool to kind of see, and he would be a pretty cool gym teacher to have for the most part, I would think, because he's really down to earth. He's kind of crazy, silly, swears, all that kind of stuff, and comedic for sure. So Negan's a lot of fun, even before the zombie apocalypse hits and everything, and losing his wife and all that. So. Pretty crazy, man. I mean, you think about it's kind of like a tragic sort of beginning for Negan that he loses his wife to cancer like that, and oh man, pain can cause all kinds of weird, different things in our development for sure, and something like that can be very, very damaging, very brutal. Even though he's cheating on her, it seems, and he's having an affair, still, of course, he seems very damaged by it. I'm surprised he's even doing that, especially once he found out that she has cancer. But again, he's a villain, so that's what it is. So if you guys can find it online, I would link it for you, but I don't want AMC, or I don't want Image or anybody to get pissed off at me for doing so. So you can try to find it online, that kind of deal. That's pretty much what happens in the first 2 chapters to give you, some kind of an idea. And thanks so much for sharing with me, Kev, because this is really cool to see. And I can't wait to kind of see the whole thing together. I hope they release it as like an individual or 2 individual issues once it's fully done. Like Walking Dead, here's Negan, so I can buy those and, just to keep them with the Walking Dead collection. It's really cool. Because Negan has become, I should really update my Walking Dead top 10 favorite characters, because at this point, I really like him a lot more than the Governor, and I always thought the Governor would be the Walking Dead's #1 villain. All these years I've been doing videos and that. It's only very recently, like within the last couple of years, that I've really been like, wow, Negan is an even better villain than the Governor, and he's even bigger for the Walking Dead. He's like the #1 villain, and Governor's like #2 now, which I never really thought that would happen, but Negan is pretty freaking awesome. So he would smoke the Governor pretty easily without too much trouble. He'd make the Governor work for him. So, yeah. So next question is from Jon Snow Rules, and we'll do some Q&A questions for today as usual. He says, "Hey dude, Q&A question. I'm hoping for the Walking Dead banner for Season 7 to have Negan on one side with his saviors and Rick on the other side with his survivors. That in the middle of the Comic-Con poster banner, the tagline appears something to fear. Pretty epic, right? Thoughts, Trev?" Absolutely, Jon Snow Rules. Great insight there. See, there's somebody who likes both Game of Thrones and The Walking Dead. Jon Snow Rules, and yet he's asking a Walking Dead question, which is insightful. So, what's wrong with liking both? I don't understand. Norman Reedus, actor in The Walking Dead, loves The Walking Dead, obviously. It's like his life's work. Also watches and enjoys Game of Thrones. I don't see what the problem is and why you have to hate one or just to love the other. You can like both. It's not an issue. So I love your idea, Jon Snow Rules. I think that would be an awesome banner. And I'm really like, where is our banner, damn it? I want my damn banner. Last year this time we had our banner. Where's my banner, dudes? Where's my banner? So hopefully it will include Negan. I mean, that's one of the big things. Like a lot of the thumbnails I've been doing this year for the videos and stuff, a lot of them include Negan because it's like such a huge, change in the series and everything. And he's such an important character. I mean, even the Here's Negan stuff and everything in the comics. He's a really big character, man, for sure. So love Negan, awesome character and best villain in the series at this point to me, which I never thought would come that way. So next one's from Michael McMahon. Hey Trev, will we see an A in Season 7? I hope so. I don't think we've seen one recently. And if anybody goes to Comic-Con and sees the panel, could you please ask Gimple if he's there or anybody who's there what the A's are for and why they put them in the background. What is the meaning behind the A's? Because I still have really, and nobody really does have any idea about why they do that, or what it means to them, or what the reason for putting them around is. So yeah. Ask them if you can. If any of you are going to Comic-Con, you get to ask a question. Please, Trev wants to know. Next one's from Senpai_Chara. And here she says, could Jennie fill comic Sophia's role because she is dead in the TV show? So that's another very insightful and great question. So Jennie is a character. If you missed the video I did last week, 2 new characters announced for season 7 coming up, episode 6. And Jennie is kind of a teenager who, it sounds like she's a lot like, people compared her to Beth, that she's kind of upbeat and happy and this kind of deal. I think that's a great comment. I really could see her. I thought Enid would kind of be the television series version of Sophia, but maybe not. Maybe something will happen with Enid. We'll see if Jennie could be that, but definitely she could be. And if Enid survives all the way through, maybe she could still be the Sophia. But Carl's going to have some girl problems coming up in the next few seasons, I'm thinking. So we got to see something going on with that. Bailey Stimpson says, Trev, Q&A question. Out of the prisoners from the prison in season 3, now we're going way back, Axel, Oscar, Tomas, Big Tiny, and Andrew, which one would you have wanted to survive? I always thought that Axel was funny as hell. And he's just, like, in the TV series version, and even in the actor who plays him in the TV series is really funny. And even in the comic book series too, you feel me? He was just really fun, man. He was a good guy, and he's just really funny. So I thought Axel was good, and I think I'd have to pick him. Big Tiny, I could never picture surviving because it's kind of like his character that he is killed off. Thomas, of course, a villain, and Andrew also a villain. Oscar was good too, but I think I'd have to go with Axel because I thought he was pretty funny. And we don't have too many characters that are comedic in The Walking Dead. There aren't too many silly, funny characters because it's a pretty serious show, right? Punk Rocker for Life 9674 says, shouldn't AMC be releasing a quote-unquote greetings from set video for season 7 soon? And yes, you're absolutely right. At this point, there's supposed to be all kinds of shit. Every year there has been. This is the only year when it's already July, after Independence Day. Now, happy Independence Day to everybody yesterday, by the way, in the States. They should have released something. Usually in June, there's a couple things like the banner and, at least a promo or something like that. They haven't released anything this year, so I can only think that it has to do with the Negan death, either that or like they don't want to release anything, or maybe whoever's in charge of doing that each year is backed up with work or something. I don't know. But I'm hoping to see something soon, and as soon as I do, I'll let you guys know, of course, for sure. We'll do a couple more. Next one's from Tham Ham, and he says, I see Norman Reedus has a new show now. Did he get Lucille? I sure hope not. And that was a comment that was left, and I wanted to include that and just kind of touch base on that one. So Ride with Norman Reedus. So I did a review of the premiere. That show, honestly, you can tell there's very little effort put into that show. I think seeing the premiere anyway, it's the kind of thing he could just do hanging out. It's not a huge deal, and of course he filmed it during the off season of The Walking Dead. It was only 6 episodes, and almost pretty much nobody's talking about it until you left this comment here. Nobody's talking about the show. I mean, maybe if people are avid bikers, they'll like it, but aside from that, for the rest of us, mostly it's like whatever, So it's not a big deal. So, but I don't think he got Lucille in the finale. No, I think that Daryl's going to make it through this season anyway, or at least the first half. But we'll see. Who knows? You never know. And next one, actually, I'm going to leave, which is what I would think The Walking Dead would be like if it was on HBO. Maybe we'll save that for the next Q&A. But the last one will be from Patricia. And Patricia says, not sure if anyone else has asked you, but have you listened to the Fear the Walking Dead radio waves on AMC's channel? And do you believe these are future characters? Question. So, to answer you quickly, I haven't listened to them. I saw them posted, I saw them uploaded, but I didn't get into it because I was busy. I was doing some other stuff and making videos and stuff, and I didn't get into it. But I'll definitely check it out now that you mention it, because I want to see if there's anything in there. Plus, of course, as I almost am forgetting at this point of the year, Fear the Walking Dead will be back in like a month or so, right? Like a month and a week, couple weeks. So it's not going to be that long anyway. So that'll be cool. So again, this year, just like last year, having something else to start prior to The Walking Dead, it helps with the wait for sure for me as a viewer. Because every Sunday now, since Game of Thrones is done, it's like I got nothing to watch. Make videos, but nothing really to watch, So I look forward to kind of Sundays as my day of the week when I get to see something awesome, be it Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, or now Fear the Walking Dead. So at least more often than not, with the combination of those, Mr. Robot's one of my favorites in the summer, and yes, I'll be reviewing it again this summer if people are wondering. Aside from that, though, right now, there's really nothing week to week I'm watching right now. So, a little bit of a hole, in a show hole. Have you ever seen that commercial, a show hole? I think that's on AMC, isn't it? Show, you've fallen into a show hole. That's why I'm in that right now. I'm in a show hole. I'm sure many of you guys are too. Anyway, that'll be it for today's Q&A, guys. If you liked the video, as usual, please don't forget to thumb it up below. Always helps, share, favorite. And, of course, if you're new and you want to sub, please subscribe at the bottom left. That's it for this video today. I'll see you guys again tomorrow for another. As always, it's Trev. I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See ya. You better subscribe.